Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. So Initio Parfums Prives is a brand that gets a lot of attention, and deservedly so. They have put out some of the most amazing fragrances on the niche market. In today's video, I'm going to be redoing a video that I've done some time ago. These are my top 10 favorite Initio fragrances 2022 list. These are my current favorites, and I'm going to do my best to put them in order from 10 to 1. So make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin today's video and I tell you all about my top 10 current favorite Initio Parfums Prives fragrances, why I love them so much, and why I put them in this order, I want to start things off by saying that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. It would mean so much to me. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. I also want to mention that there's a special promotion currently going on the official Initio website. It's going to be the first link down below. So basically, if you buy any 90 milliliter sized bottle, you're going to get a 10 milliliter of Psychedelic Love for free. It's on this list, might not be in the #1 spot, but Psychedelic Love is an amazing fragrance. So a free 10 milliliter bottle if you purchased a 90 ml from the website. And of course, I'm going to leave all of the information down below if you're interested in checking it out. I think the offer expires on October 1st. So if you do want to take advantage of it, now within the next few days is the best time to do so. So let's go ahead and jump into the list. Very personal, very subjective. And of course, I own every single Initio Parfum fragrance that was ever released, probably except for Magnetic Blend 1. That one was a little bit hard to get along with, but in other words, it was an animalic fragrance, but a lot of people really enjoy it. So anyway, let's just go ahead and jump into the list. The first fragrance that I want to talk about is, of course, Blessed Baraka. Now, this fragrance kind of fluctuates on my list, especially in the colder months of the year. This one shoots up to the top of the list, right? Top 5 fragrances for me. So for this one, you can basically expect white flowers, sandalwood, captive wood, vanilla, and musk. It's a very sort of ambery, vanilla, woodsy fragrance. It has a darker personality, but it also has like this clean, musky aura about it that gives really good longevity to the fragrance. So Blessed Baraka is a really uplifting, very pleasant, feel-good kind of a fragrance that also has a darker personality to it. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is Absolute Aphrodisiac. A lot of these bottles look the same, so I have to look at the name at the top to remind myself. Now, this one differs from Blessed Baraka in the sense that this one also has a white floral vibe going on in it, but it has amber, vanilla, musk, and castoreum. This one has the tendency of going in a bit more animalic direction on account of the castoreum, but it's not like civet, it's not a super animalic ingredient. It actually has this very pleasant, musky base with a little bit of an oomph to it, right? So the castoreum can be animalic at times in some other fragrances, not in the case of this fragrance. Absolute Aphrodisiac definitely has more of an ambery personality. So it's rich, it's resinous, it's balsamic, and it has a lot of really wonderful things going for it. So now we're going to switch over to a different collection, and this one is Atomic Rose. So this one has several natural varieties of rose, very sensual, very organic. It has a very sexy vibe to it. There's also some sweetness lingering underneath. I'm picking up on Madagascan vanilla, which has been done a few times in the Initio catalog. This one is best described as a blend between Delina by Parfum de Marly, or perhaps Delina Exclusive, and Intense Cafe by Montal, right? Kind of has like this sweet vanilla, coffee, rose kind of a vibe. It's really amazing. Atomic Rose is a completely unisex fragrance, and I've seen it get a lot of love over the past couple of years since it's been released. And then we have High Frequency. Now, if you're a fan of some of the more floral offerings that the brand has to offer, High Frequency is up there. It's definitely one of the most natural, jasmine fragrances that I've ever tried. It has a touch of almond in it as well. It might remind you a little bit of Pegasus by Parfum de Marly, but this one has a much stronger jasmine note as far as my nose can perceive. So it definitely has this clean aura about it, and it's a perfect fragrance for the springtime, but also the fall, right? There are a lot of other better, heavier offerings for the winter time, but if you want to wear something that has a little bit of a spicy element to it, High Frequency is great. The almond in it is just very well done. And then of course we have Musk Therapy. This is my wife's favorite fragrance. She is currently on her second bottle, and we also have a travel atomizer of it. I mean, she wears this stuff like it's going out of style. What I love about Musk Therapy is that there is musk in it, and of course it's a synthetic musk, but it also has black currant, which in and of itself can smell a bit musky. So it kind of has like this musky, fruity personality. There's a touch of sweetness in it as well, this lingering vanilla in the background. It's very well composed, and it's one of these fragrances that has the potential to sort of convey like a pheromone-like effect. Of course, a lot of the fragrances that are found in this collection have, all of the fragrances I should say, contain hedione, and hedione is a molecule that is also said to activate the pleasure center of the brain. But let's get into the top five. The top five, of course, are, and I just want to, oh yeah, Oud for Happiness. So Oud for Happiness is an amazing, amazing fragrance. It has an underlying sweetness to it, but it also has this spicy saffron and green grassy personality. It's almost like a spicier version of Bleecker Street by Bond No. 9. So it kind of has like this spicy green vibe about it, very easy to wear, and definitely one of the more versatile fragrances that the brand has to offer. High Frequency is incredibly versatile as well, but there's something really special about Oud for Happiness, and I'm really glad that they released another Oud, because Oud for Greatness had been on its own for such a long time, and Oud for Greatness, as I'm sure you know, has become very, very popular. We also have Rehab. For many, this is the best fragrance for the autumn. Just that sort of spicy, pink pepper, tobacco kind of a vibe that it has. I know there's obviously vetiver and there's some woodsy notes, and it has gotten compared to Spice Bomb by Viktor and Rolf, and I totally get the comparisons, but I personally love this fragrance. Bergamot, lavender, vetiver, cedarwood, patchouli, gaiac sandalwood, and musks, right? So this is a great fragrance. Definitely has this spicy tobacco-y quality about it that will put us in the mindset of fall. My number 3 fragrance is, of course, the fragrance that you will get a 10 milliliter of for free if you make a purchase on the official Initio website over the next few days, and this is Psychedelic Love. Psychedelic Love is another hedione bomb. It has that sort of pheromone-like effect to it, but this one takes things in a bit more of like a fruity direction. So this one actually has bergamot, rose, myrrh, vanilla, and patchouli. So that bergamot is very, very juicy in the opening, and the myrrh is not bitter. And I really like that about it. It actually opens up with this flavorful, juicy, pseudo-fruity vibe that I'm really enjoying. The rose, of course, is not as strong as it is in Atomic Rose, which has a few different varieties of rose. But I love that vanilla dried down, really ties everything together. And this is more of like a dry amber, right? I think some of the other fragrances here, especially Absolute Aphrodisiac, is an amber that's on the sweeter side of things. This is more on the dry side of things. Although it does have that vanilla in there, which adds that surplus of sweetness, right? And vanilla is a unifying theme among the brand. The fragrance in the number 2 spot is Oud for Greatness. Oud for Greatness is the brand's most successful fragrance to date. And this one, of course, contains, if I can read it, it has oud wood, agarwood oil, lavender, saffron, nutmeg, patchouli, and musk. And so the saffron gives this spicy, leathery vibe. There is this underlying sweetness to it as well that people have compared to the smell of cotton candy. Some people have even said Baccarat Rouge by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This, of course, has the agarwood. It takes things in a much, much darker direction. If you do a side-by-side, the differences will become so apparent. And I think the spices like the nutmeg and the saffron really contribute to that. And of course, with all that being said, we are left with one more fragrance, and I have to be true to myself. This is the fragrance that I have been dubbing as my favorite for a long time. It has made its way into many lists, and we are finally at that time of the year where it feels so good to wear this one. And this one is Side Effect. Side Effect has the Hedione, cinnamon, rum, saffron, tonka bean, vanilla. At least I get a tonka bean vibe from it. So it's this boozy, spicy, cinnamony, sweet, rum, vanilla, Hedione, pheromone type of a fragrance. Side Effect is absolutely amazing. And I know a lot of other brands have kind of put out their own version of Side Effect. Like I can vividly recall a Montal fragrance that I reviewed in the past few months that actually gave me a bit of a Side Effect vibe. I know it's a very popular DNA, and it's one that I just fell in love with at first sniff. And, you know, I mentioned this in my video before, you know, I started purchasing Initio fragrances the moment I found out about them, and Side Effect was one of the first fragrances that I ever purchased, and I'm so happy having a bottle of it in my collection. It's been left to macerate now for a few years. It's gotten so strong, and hey, autumn is officially here. I almost said winter. Let me not jump the gun. Autumn is officially here, so it's going to be getting a lot of play for me. There you have it, ladies and gents, my 10 current favorite Initio Parfums fragrances. Which are your favorites? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Also, make sure to take advantage of the offer on the website while it's still valid. If you're one of the early birds and you're watching this video soon after publishing, then it is valid. So take advantage of it, especially if you've been wanting to pick up one of these amazing fragrances. Of course, Initio has so many great fragrances, so definitely check them out. Watch a few more reviews. I've reviewed a bunch of them, if not all of them at this point. Maybe I didn't review some of the magnetic blends or something, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, enable all notifications by clicking on the bell, give it a thumbs up. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.